In the early 1970s, Bolivia was a nation gripped by political instability and social upheaval. The country was under the military regime of Hugo Banzer, who had taken power through a coup in 1971. Tensions were high, with frequent protests and resistance from various factions, including leftist groups and indigenous movements seeking greater autonomy. This volatile atmosphere set the stage for the dramatic events that would unfold in October 1971, when a Boeing 727 operated by Lloyd Aéreo Boliviano was hijacked. The routine flight of Lab was scheduled to travel from Santa Cruz to La Paz, carrying a diverse group of passengers including business professionals, families, and tourists exploring Bolivia's rich cultural heritage. The flight began uneventfully, with passengers settling in for the short journey across the Andean nation. However, shortly after takeoff, chaos erupted as a group of armed individuals stormed the cockpit, taking control of the aircraft. Panic swept through the cabin as the hijackers, a mix of politically motivated militants and opportunistic criminals, made their demands known. They sought the release of political prisoners and a hefty ransom, threatening to harm the passengers if their conditions were not met. The captain and crew, trained for such emergencies, tried to calm the passengers while discreetly communicating with authorities on the ground. As news of the hijacking spread, the Bolivian government swiftly mobilized a crisis response team. Negotiators were brought in to engage with the hijackers, seeking a peaceful resolution. Maps and radar tracking showed the aircraft deviating from its planned route, adding to the urgency of the situation. Inside the plane, tensions were palpable. Passengers huddled together, whispering prayers and comforting one another. The visual atmosphere was one of stark fear, with armed hijackers patrolling the aisles and the flight crew under constant stress. Outside the aircraft, Bolivian military forces prepared for a possible storming of the plane, should negotiations fail. Archival footage from the period showcases the growing crowd of nervous onlookers and reporters at the airport. While interviews with aviation experts provide insights into the tactics being employed to manage the crisis. The negotiators worked tirelessly to de-escalate the situation, offering food and medical supplies in exchange for the release of some hostages. Their strategy hinged on winning the trust of the hijackers while ensuring the safety of everyone on board. In a dramatic turn of events, the hijackers agreed to release several passengers in a gesture of goodwill. This pivotal moment shifted the power dynamic, allowing negotiators to make more definitive demands. Ultimately, the hijacking reached a resolution when the government conceded to some of the hijackers' demands, arranging safe passage for them in exchange for the release of the remaining hostages. The aftermath of the hijacking had profound implications for Bolivian aviation. Security protocols were overhauled, with stricter checks and more robust emergency procedures implemented to prevent future incidents.